This good-looking car is the Kia Sorento GT-Line, and this is the petrol version. It competes with the higher grade versions of the Hyundai Santa Fe and the Mazda CX-9. Now, I don't want to give away my verdict just yet, but boy was I excited to test this car for the last 2 weeks. Now, if you want to know if I could work out the endless tech features this car has to offer, just keep watching for this week's Family Review. Now this video will be split up into chapters. All the time codes are listed here, so if there's anything that you want to look at, you can skip ahead, and it will also be marked in the YouTube timeline below. For more details, make sure you head on over to the CarsGuide site for my full written review, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. The Sorento GT-Line comes in at just over $62,000 plus extras and on-road costs. It's the top of the range for the Sorento model, unless you're going for the hybrid or the plug-in hybrid versions. I've been driving the petrol version and it's a 2-wheel drive, but you can get it in diesel in an all-wheel drive, but it will cost you an extra $3,000. Out of all the 7 colours that this car comes in, only one comes at no extra cost, and that's clear white. This colour here is Snow White Pearl, and it's going to set you back $695. The wheels are 20-inch alloys, and they come in this nice dark chrome colour, which is standard for the GT line. And it also comes with a full-size spare underneath the car. So this car has some great tech features. There's your more common ones that all the newer cars have, like your USB charger points. There are 3 up the front, 3 in the middle, and 3 down the back. It also has a wireless charging point as well. There's your head-up display, which is a feature I really love. There is a 14-way power seat, and it also has an integrated 2 memory for you and your partner. And the passenger seat has a 10-way power. There is an incredible sound system in this car. It's a Bose premium 12-speaker sound system with a subwoofer as well. Can't forget to mention that there is Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but both of those are wired, and it didn't always work for our Android Auto, so we didn't really get to use that function. Now, if you've got some passengers sitting back in the 3rd row, you don't really want to be yelling at them. So this car has a driver in-talk intercom, so you can just press a button and talk to them through a microphone. Now, the coolest feature of this car, the remote car parking assist. This feature is exclusive to the GT line, but it's so cool I have to show you. So let's pretend we're in a shopping centre car park, and the one spot left is really tight, and I'm 7 months pregnant, so I'm not going to be able to get out of it. So you line your car up to the spot, put it in park, put the handbrake on, and then you press the camera button down here and look at the screen until it now tells me it is safe for me to get out and leave the car. Close the door and press the forward button. And the car will drive slowly into its car spot. Very slowly. It's really cool. It's kind of like you've got your own giant remote control car, except it only goes really slow. This car really is great value for money. There is so much tech involved, and it very quickly went on our shortlist for our next family mover. Kia have done a really great job at doing a really nice mix of sportiness and luxury. At the front there is their big grille, which they call a tiger nose. Now, I'm not sure exactly if the car looks anything like a tiger at the front, but I do really like it. The interior feels modern, but not too futuristic, and the mood lighting is just nice and subtle. The first thing I want to mention when talking about the practicality of this car is the size. We're talking about a large SUV, and one of the things you need to think about is is it going to fit into car spaces, including your garage at home? Now, we live in a townhouse with a double garage, and the Sorento fits inside next to our second car. Both my husband and I can get out either side, and we can even open the back door wide enough to get our son out of his car seat. That's something I've never thought about before when purchasing a car, but that is definitely going on our must-have list. So in the front here, we've got these really stylish Napa leather appointed seats. They are really nice in hugging your body, but it's quite firm under your bottom, so I can only imagine that on a long drive it would get a little bit uncomfortable. Everything is really streamlined through the dash and down through the center. You've got your big 10.25 inch touchscreen up here, which is excellent for your reversing camera. You've got your two cup holders here in the center. There is also space in each door for a bottle, but they're super small. You would only fit a 600ml drink bottle in them. And there is plenty of storage up here. In your center console bin, there's a little tray which we loved using for our sunglasses, and the size of it is really generous as well. And there's just little pockets everywhere, spots for your keys. You can put your face masks in here, phone, wallet. There really is just an ample amount of storage. You've also got your dual zone climate control, which is standard and excellent, but there's these really interesting air vents. There's lots of them, but you can never kind of get them pointed in the right direction. But in all fairness, they do a really great job at cooling down the entire cabin quite quickly. Here in the second row, there is plenty of storage. There are 4 cup holders, 2 in your center armrest, 1 in each door, and I actually really love these ones in each door. They hold a decent sized drink bottle as well. There are 2 drink bottle holders, but again, like the front, they're really quite small. You've got these 2 really large air vents. Now in back seats, often the air vents are down quite low, and when you've got a child with you in a car seat, the air doesn't really reach them and it takes quite a while to cool down the back seat. These ones are excellent. They're placed up higher, so even my 3-year-old mentioned a couple of times that he could feel the cool air, and they did a great job at cooling down the back seat. As you can see, there is so much space for a passenger back here. I've got plenty of room between my knees and the seat in front, heaps of space above my head, and I'm about 168 centimeters tall, or 5'6"-ish. And I even sat my really tall brother back here. He's like 6'3", and he still had plenty of room. So you know, if you're tall, you will be comfortable back here, even with the seats positioned correctly for the driver in front. The GT line also comes with the integrated window blinds, so it's perfect if you've got little ones in the back seat with you. Speaking of little ones, as you can see, we have got a forward-facing car seat in here. It is attached with the top tether, and there is 3 top tethers and 2 ISOFIX points back here. It was really easy to fit this car seat in, and there was so much space. I had so much space when sitting in the front seat that I could even move my front seat forward so my son couldn't reach my seat and kick it. Now the seat split for the second row is a 60-40 split, 60 being on the passenger side, 40 being on the driver's side. Now this is fine unless you've got little kids that you're wanting to get in and out of the car, because you want that to happen on the passenger side when you're parking on the curb. The 60 side doesn't slide forward quite as far as what the 40 side does, so it's quite difficult to squeeze in and out. Now for us, when we trialled our son in the back third row, he's independent enough, being a 3-year-old, that he could climb in and out himself without me having to physically squeeze in. And all he did was step up into the car seat himself, because those seats are actually much lower to the ground, and I just had to reach in and buckle him in. Even with my 7-month belly, I could reach over to be able to do that. So although it probably would be something we would find quite annoying if we were using the third row on a daily basis, it's probably not something to turn turn us off enough, because for those weekend trips when we had the grandparents coming along with us, they could sit here in the second row and our son could sit in the back row. Now, back here in the third row, it's not a spot I would choose to sit very often, especially 7 months pregnant. The seat is much lower to the ground and you're right above the wheels, so you feel every single bump. I lasted about 5 minutes back here before I actually made the driver pull over so I could get out and move to the second row. There is a lot going on back here for the third row. You've got your own USB charger port on both sides. There is the air conditioning vents, which you can control yourself. There is also a cup holder on each side, and there's this little cubby as well where you could easily fit your phone. The seat split back here is a 50-50 split, and there is child restraint spots for both of the seats, ISOFIX and top tether. All right, let's talk about the keyless tailgate release. Gone are the days of waving your foot aimlessly under your car. All you have to do is stand close with your key and your boot will magically open. So with all seats in use in this car, you're going to get 187 litre capacity. If we put the third row down, you're going to get 616 litres. And if we put both of them down, if you're making a trip to IKEA, you're going to get a huge 2011 litre capacity to store all your goodies you're going to purchase. So in the boot, there's this nifty little cubby down here where you store your parcel shelf cover for when you're using your third row, and you can also keep your safety net as well. This car really is effortless to drive, but it does have some nice power behind it. That's all thanks to the 3.5 litre petrol engine and the 8-speed automatic transmission. This car's front-wheel drive, and Kia have tuned the suspension to Australian roads, so it makes driving that little bit more pleasant. The steering is great and really responsive, but not so much that it makes the car twitchy. Now, I was actually really nervous about driving this car because it's so large on the road and through shopping centre car parks. But there are some great features in this car that really put me at ease. One of those features is the 360-degree camera view. You get a bird's eye view from the top of the car, and it just gave me so much confidence when navigating parallel parking and shopping centre car parks. The other feature that my husband and I found really handy was the blind spot view monitors. When you put your indicator on, you get a little image down on your dash and it shows you down near the tyres. So when you're doing parallel parking, changing lanes, you can see what is down next to the side of the car, so you're not going to hit anyone, you're not going to scrape your wheels, and it's definitely a feature that we're both really going to miss. This car takes regular unleaded petrol, and Kia claims on combined roads it's going to take about 9.7 litres per 100 kilometres, or on urban roads 13.7. On my driving, I've been doing it mainly through suburbia, and I have averaged about 13.9 litres per 100 kilometres, so it is a little bit thirsty. The safety features in the Sorento just make my heart so happy. All the big ticket safety items are there. Auto emergency braking at city and highway speeds. That also has pedestrian and cyclist detection. There's a safe exit assist, which stops you or whoever is in the back seat from opening the door into oncoming traffic. Rear occupant alert, which stops you from locking your kids or your pets in the car. And there's a 5-star NCAP safety rating from 2020. Now, I'm just going to reiterate, there are 8 airbags, but frustratingly, there's none for the third row. So that could be a deal breaker for you. So while you might be spending a bit on fuel, you will be getting Kia's 7-year unlimited kilometre warranty and 7 years or 105,000 kilometre capped price servicing. Your servicing costs will be different every year or every 15,000 kilometres, but it is capped, so you can go to Kia's website to find out the exact pricing so you know exactly what you're going to expect. If you haven't worked it out already, I absolutely love this car. It's incredible value for money, and the tech features like the 360-degree camera view, you've got the really smart interface, and then the remote park assist. What are the downsides? Well, there actually aren't that many. There's those firm front seats, the airbags that don't reach the back row, and the car is a little bit thirsty. But overall, I just really enjoy this car. So I give it a 9.3 out of 10. If you like the Sorento GT-Line as much as I do, make sure you like this video. And again, head on over to the CarsGuide website to check out my full written review. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next family review.